Hey there, Wasteland Wanderers! Your newest military historian here, logging in with this taped lecture. Strap yourselves in, because today we're diving into the gritty tale of the Mojave campaign. A post-apocalyptic drama that unfolded when the crimson sunset over the Mojave horizon bore witness to the horrors that unfolded in 2253. The massacre of 38 NCR citizens by ruthless Mojave raiders became the blood-stained prologue to a saga of tumultuous proportions. In the hushed corridors of the NCR's power seat, this massacre had been just the right trigger to blindside old President Jonah Tibbet with a motion of no confidence, an inevitable reckoning for the grave loss of her people. Wendell Peterson, her successor and quantified perfect politician, aka an over-eager pencil pusher looking to make a name for himself, bore the weight of the nation's vengeance and desperation. Without so much as having his ass planted in his seat when sworn in, the decree was made, and 3 battalions of NCR infantry plunged into the unforgiving Mojave, marking the inception of a campaign that would echo through history. As the NCR war machine unfurled its might in the Mojave, the landscape bore witness to the construction of the Mojave outpost in 2272. Its purpose? To secure vital transportation routes for the Republic in the West. You see, in 2273, the merged NCR Rangers on Mojave Desert Rangers ventured eastward, uncovering a revelation that would reshape the campaign's entire trajectory. A nice little paradise of shining lights, hookers, and gambling tables preserved perfectly in time, being the old world's Las Vegas Strip, now rechristened as New Vegas. Seems it lay untouched by the nuclear tempest, and the goodie bag of a seemingly maintained Hoover Dam stood as a beacon of repairable hope. Didn't take much longer for the Republic's army to descend upon this newfound land in 2274, initiating the quote-unquote pacification of the Mojave. Now, you see, the occupation of the Hoover Dam marked a turning point, but the Treaty of New Vegas with the elusive leader of the Strip called Mr. House in 2274 introduced an uneasy peace. The NCR, granted control of the dam, had to basically navigate the delicate balance of power. Somehow, the lawyers and accountants of the NCR's army worked overtime and came up with a trade deal that could make even the most shrewd accountant of the hub's families feel like a hooker left out in the rain. Somehow, the Republic's core regions eked out a thriving 95% of the dam's electricity, while the remaining 5% fueled the vibrant lights of the Strip. A treaty-enforced embassy on the Strip becoming the sentinel of trust between the NCR and the enigmatic Mr. House, all just so the taxman had some level of overwatch on his new friend in this godless Mojave. As the Hoover Dam's turbines roared back to life, New Vegas blossomed. The city became a magnet for the NCR's elite, drawn to its allure like moths to a flame. However, administering such a vast region proved Herculean. Logistical nightmares plagued the campaign like a Gomorrah-earned rash, with supplies and troops navigating a labyrinth of bureaucracy. Let's just say, Republic funds entangled in the political quagmire of Los Angeles were slow to reach the Mojave's front lines. The NCR's newfound prosperity didn't quite go unnoticed by most in the region, and when there's smoke, a fire is bound to come, as the NCR had attracted the ominous gaze of Caesar's legion. The Malpais legate, a harbinger of destruction amidst the group of slaving ancient Rome cosplayers, led legion forces in the first Battle of Hoover Dam. However, NCR defenders under Chief Hanlon's tactical brilliance executed a masterful retreat. A strategically laid trap in Boulder City, rigged with explosives, turned the tide, crippling the Legion's elite forces with a well-placed use of tactical fuckery. The Legion, however, proved resilient, and the Legion didn't take kindly to its losses. And so, with a well-placed "fuck you kindly," turns out the Legion had a good mind for explosive terrorism with Camp Searchlight's nuclear obliteration with a fucking dirty bomb, seemingly echoing the ghosts of Fort Aradesh's fall, as Camp Searchlight's irradiation morphed its survivors into feral trooper ghouls. Now militarily, it was a kick in the shins, but politically it was a snafu of heavy proportions. Many families don't take kindly to their loved ones getting nuked in a territory they didn't even remotely care about. President Kimball, the next successor after Peterson, and General Lee Oliver, grappled with plummeting morale and high desertion rates respectively. Camp Forlorn Hope, a defensive bulwark against the impending storm, mirrored its namesake in the faces of its beleaguered soldiers with a steadily climbing suicide rate. Yet, the NCR's internal struggles deepened. The gold-backed currency lost its luster when the Brotherhood of Steel ambushed and annihilated the NCR's gold deposits. Water held over at the dam, now the anchor for the NCR dollar as it was traded for military supplies and strategic influence over the Strip. Now, hold up, I hear you asking. What was up with the whole Brotherhood of Steel thing? Well, before the NCR could even start with the unforgiving embrace of the Mojave, a clash of ideologies unfolded with the Brotherhood of Steel. You see, the Brotherhood, or a gaggle of tin cans some of the old boys in the unit camps called them, with their superior technology but outnumbered 20-1, succumbed to the NCR's relentless onslaught. See, back in 2275, the establishment of Camp McCarran by the new California Republic as its operational base in the Mojave region ignited some intermittent guerrilla attacks from the local Brotherhood of Steel chapter. The narrative of the conflict finds its clarity in the plight of the Mojave Brotherhood. Following substantial casualties incurred during the pivotal 2276 Clash for Helios 1, now codenamed Operation Sunburst, the Brotherhood underwent a strategic retreat to Hidden Valley. Since then, they've kind of endured a state of essential exile, dispatching scouting parties solely for indispensable needs. However, this side story doesn't just end there, as the NCR's push into the Mojave angered a whole bunch of people. The NCR just so happened to be the new kid on the shit list. Some guys called the Great Khans, once raiders, escalated their hostilities against the NCR. At this point, it was a war on all fronts. Luckily, counterattacks and hit-and-run warfare on both sides traced the Khan murderers to their settlement at Bitter Springs, which ultimately led to a real shitty outcome known as the infamous Bitter Springs Massacre. Heck, Papa Khan, leader of the whole pack, nursing resentment against the NCR, even contemplated an alliance with Caesar's Legion. But even their drug-addled minds seemed to see better sense than that. Although, they did start an economic pact with the Fiends that further fueled the flames of conflict, with good old-fashioned corporate outsourcing, as chems exchanged hands for harassment against the Republic by the Fiends. Needless to say, the NCR had its work cut out for them. Now, as much as this footnote will come back in a small way, we do need to talk a bit about this odd section of history. In the enigmatic aftermath of the First Battle of Hoover Dam, Mr. House played his wild card, dispatching a mysterious courier on a quest for a platinum chip. Poor bastard, however, according to the reports, got shot in the head outside Goodsprings, left for dead by a traitorous insider, and somehow defied the odds with their survival. Now, details get messy here, so this particular section is kept short, but the journey of this figure to New Vegas became the stuff of legend, surrounded by myths and hearsay. However, we're just sticking to the facts. During this time, the courier's odyssey attracted the attention of the NCR. Their overall contributions are still shrouded in mystery and classified documents to this day, but still managed to tilt the balance of the Mojave campaign. As political unrest eventually simmered in faraway regions of California, the courier's influence loomed in the Mojave and swayed the tides of war. Now here's where we have a little intermission with the introduction of the Cazador Company, who we'll be following for quite a bit through our military history course. You see, post the First Battle of Hoover Dam, General Oliver marshaled the 1st Infantry Regiment and 2nd Special Forces Regiment right into the heart of the conflict with some semi-green units that had just been founded. The 16th Cazador Company, the 22nd Stingwing Squadron, the 42nd Night Stalker Reconnaissance Team, and the 2nd Yaoguai Ranger Company embarked on a daring deep strike mission into Legion territory. The objective? Capture the Bronze Bull's head honcho, Caesar himself, injecting disarray into all of the Legion's ranks. It amounted akin to suicide to letting this semi-green unit go balls deep into Legion territory and somehow get out unscathed. But with how unpopular shit got for the NCR both on the front line and at home, it's easy to see that the mad fuck got desperate. Turns out he's a hell of a gambler, and Lady Luck decided to shine on him that one last time. The mission unfolded as a crowning achievement for the first campaign of these semi-tested greenhorns, but morphed into a bitter tale as the elements sent for Caesar couldn't quite arrive in time to help at Hoover Dam when Caesar's Round 2 came. Yet surprisingly, the handicap NCR intelligence assumed the loss of Caesar would be didn't quite cripple the Legion as expected. Now, even here, murmurs of hidden truths still linger in history, so until some historical leads and evidence is followed up on in future discoveries, it's a historical landmine. So that's a topic for another time. The Mojave campaign reached its crescendo in the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, where NCR grit swayed the fate of nations. The Legion had amassed their forces and stormed the Hoover Dam one last time. And just as shit hit the fan, NCR forces stormed back, battling their way into the heart of the Legion camp that spawned those fanatical assholes. Facing Legate Lanius, apparently Caesar's second-hand man who was a towering slab of meat wielding a giant sword and adorned in metal, we somehow see this odd courier figure again from direct sourcing by General Oliver himself. Historians still aren't quite sure what capacity this courier worked with the NCR, but apparently after fighting to the camp with NCR forces, they somehow engaged in some level of miraculous shotgun diplomacy that had the most hard-headed man in Caesar's Legion back off, prompting a full retreat from the Mojave. The aftermath saw General Oliver congratulating the mysterious figure at the main gate, and photographs for many Californian newspapers to see. After that, well, that elusive courier just vanished into obscurity, and left a phantom entity that shaped the annals of the Mojave campaign. With the Second Battle of Hoover Dam's resolution, General Lee Oliver retired as a hero with honors and turned politician. Turns out, when you end an unpopular war with a hard smile and your praises ran through the propaganda machine, you get a lot of goodwill and backroom deals for the politicians looking to get themselves some brownie points and taking credit for your success. It goes without saying, the NCR's dominion expanded, and even the elusive Mr. House conceded his initial stance of independence when he saw the writing on the wall that the NCR was here to stay in the Mojave, offering New Vegas to the Republic through a signed annexation treaty. The seemingly unpopular quagmire of the Mojave campaign became one finished chapter in the history books. Yet, with the wasteland's ever-shifting sands, shit never stays peaceful for long. And just as it sought the NCR out and seemingly ended, war would come back eventually. Because as the saying goes in the wasteland, war never changes.